Does he have it?
Medeiros is going to get it.
They're going to toss it. They haven't got it. He's on the outside line though, going into the fastest corner on the circuit. Surely this can't work.
Dominic Ligner has got a sensational run outside line now though for the heavy braking zone. Around the outside goes the Audi R8.
Look how much Miller's caught back into play. Exactly, Miller's still start trouble. He's not on second and change. All of a sudden Miller's back in play.
Can Barry do it? Big Barry's going to do it. Big Barry! Good evening and welcome to the BSC playoff round 14. We are not 15 and we're live from Watkins Glen, 3.89 kilometers here this evening. And as per normal, you've got myself, James Parfitt, and Kenton Sportak in the booth with me again once more here as we've only got 2 rounds to go. Las Vegas and Homestead, and we can bring you up the current championship standards. Now, nobody from the playoffs won last week. It was Cody Kern who took the victory, so we've had no automatic playoff qualification. Now, we go into the top 4, and we've got Brandon McLaughlin on first place on 1,043 with Jordan Malcolm behind him, Noel Hanna, Alex Witt, Andrew Olmquist, Christian Strada, Josh McGuigan, and Dan Michael. Now I'm going to bring Kenton in early to have a discussion about this. Kenton, what's the situation here? Who's got to do what throughout this race?
I mean, the biggest thing is you got to win. If you're in that top section, the top 8 there, a win gets you in for that last race, and that's going to be everything. It allows you to not have to stress as much for the last one at Vegas here before getting to Homestead. So the biggest thing is going to be get yourself in a position that you can have a win. Now, for some people, it's going to be, if you're not able to get the win, you know you're going to be it's going to be maximize points at that point. Mm-hmm. So if you're like, obviously go for the win, but maximizing points. So don't taking unnecessary kind of risks in the sense of, trying to push it and running the risk of slamming your car into a wall and having a huge repair bill after your time, I guess, not necessarily, but having a huge repair time after you've already used your quick repair. All that's going to do is send you into kind of a, I guess, free fall to the bottom of it, and only the top 4 make it for the final race as the possibility of winning the whole thing. So it's definitely something you want to do, is be smart, but you're going to have to take advantages of what you can and not let opportunities go by just because you're like, you don't want to push too early. With how last week went, you need to maximize as many points as you get, because obviously wins aren't going to be the only way to get in, so maximize as many points as you can.
Yep, so there we go. For these guys, they've got to go and try and get a victory here this evening as well. And don't forget, the top 4 get decided after next week, after Las Vegas, for the final at Homestead. Now you can see little old me has been a little bit busy this week with the overlay there as well. So you can see I've completely redesigned the overlay this week to make it easier for everybody to understand what's happening. Obviously, the drivers in red are the ones that are currently in the session in the playoffs. Okay, so we've got McLaughlin, Strada, Hanna, Michael, Malcolm, and Witt. So don't forget, they're the ones in the playoffs. Now, there's going to be some other fancy stuff going on at the same time that I've been playing with in the background as well. So be aware, if you see something changing, don't panic. It's supposed to do it, I promise you. But I've been a little bit busy this week trying to tune around with the overlay based off the real-life NASCAR series as well. So I hope you like it. It's going to be very interactive, and it did take quite a while here, but we are here. Now, the thing about Watkins Glen is normally round the outer loop, which is the right-hand side, we are normally running down the hill into the chute. Now, we're not doing that this time. We're missing out the toe, the boot, the hill. We're going straight round the outer loop, straight into the second to last corner. So before then, we will end up going left and then to round the last corner on the right. Okay, so we've got a very short track here this evening. Now, Kenton, tell us about the track. What are we expecting from here? You've taken the car around there this week. what's the situation with the car and this short track?
Obviously, with these cars, there's not a ton of downforce. So the biggest thing is make sure you have your car under control, entering and exiting corners. I have a few trouble sort of spots. Turn one's always a little dicey if you're unable to get your front tire into the little groove along the curb there. So you can kind of see there's a little groove along that curve as he just goes by it there. If you're unable to get your tire in there, you're going to oversteer and overshoot that corner. This little S's section that you can see right there, you can get a little loose on the rear end coming through there if you have too much speed coming into it, into turn 2 there. And then coming out of turn 3, if you have a little bit too much speed or you get on the throttle a little quick, it can mess up your exit and send you into that wall. Obviously, the stock little chicane that we have here with all of these massive, very wide curbs, you need to take them right. If you far, you're going to miss your exit. Have a problem coming out of there. If you get too close, especially going into the little chicane, you can introduce yourself to the corner of the wall, or you just miss it and overshoot the corner because you get too much speed coming through there. So it's a little precarious through that area. I'd say the last 2 corners are fairly simple. It's just keep the car under control. There's not too many issues you can get into. Obviously, if you get too aggressive, it can still spin you, but they're the least of my concerns. I'd say turn 1, 2, 3, 4 really, and then the chicane at 5 and 6 and 7 and 8. After that, it's a little easier going. So top first sector, I'd say a little easier on sector 3 and half of sector 2.
Daniel Michael's gone across the line and put himself currently in 5th place. Alex Witt is out in front, sporting a new livery this week as well. Jordan Malcolm 2nd, Hannah 1st. Cody Kern, obviously your winner from last week, is 4th. Dan Michael in 5th. Zach Lewis 6th. Brandon McLaughlin 7th, and Josh Keefe is there in 8th. We're waiting for updates coming from Greg Sherman, Terry Spainhow, Christian Strada, Anthony Radel, Seth Pegg as well. So there's a few more drivers here to go this evening. Quite a nice full grid here. Should be an absolutely outstanding race. So if you are here, say hello. I am waiting for my Spainhour crew. Where are you all at? Who's the first one in chat? Let me know here as well. But Alex Witt is coming around. We've got about 1:18 left of quali. Here before he goes round on the final lap of the 111. Well, he's just done a 1:10.88 currently as well. Dan Michael's just done a 1:11.38, or he's jumped up into 2nd place as well, so it's going to be even more interesting. Quali here is going to be a little more important than some of the ovals we've been to this season, right? Because obviously you want to get that breakaway down into turn 1 and along thereafter.
Yeah, it's road course in NASCAR. If you're near the front, you save yourself a lot of headache. If you're in kind of the middle of the pack there, you end up having someone do a donut and make some contact with you and send you into the wall, or get you a little squirrely, and you end up missing your turn and have problems. So yeah, qualifying is going to be very important here. Getting a front section of this race will definitely help in the long run, just keeping you out of trouble.
Yep, I fully agree. And we got Bubs in the house. First one. Go on, Bub. Hope he's got some water. Come on, Mum. We need to make sure Mr. Spadehouse stays refreshed here as well. And Zach Lewis in that McDonald liveried car as well. We have actually got 13, 14, 15, 16 cars currently at the moment. And that is at the end of quali already. So we can bring you up the grid here as well. Alex Witt in 1st, Daniel Michael 2nd, Jordan Malcolm 3rd, Noel Hannah 4th, Cody Kern 5th, Christian Strada 6th, Devon Collicott in 7th, Joshua Keefe 8th, Zach Lewis 9th, Brandon McLaughlin 10th, TJ Spainhour in 11th, and Seth Pegg down in 12th place. Then we've got Anthony Radel, Joshua Kern, Greg Sherman, Calvin Ross. Now, I believe Armand Brusso is in the session, but he's doing stewarding currently at the moment as well, so I don't believe he's taken part. Now, as you can see, we are going to be running on a little bit of a warm-up. He's got the left and the right to go on this parade lap before we go green here as well. Terry's number 2 fan, non-family included, is here, says Google X Earth as well. Welcome in, thank you so much. You know, you're going to have to sit behind me, I'm afraid. You're going to have to sit behind me. I'm number 1, always am. I'm sorry. It's just the way it's been for the season. So there we go. But we haven't got very long left now before we absolutely go green for 50 laps with a stage break at lap 20. So get ready for this one. Hope you got your drinks, your popcorn, you sat there ready and waiting, listening, anticipating, enjoying the fancy graphics I've been spent all week deciding. And it should be an absolutely good one here. Okay, Kenton, who's going to win?
Ooh, I know Michaels has a pretty good showings at when he was in Coda. He had a pretty good run, and then Sonoma he also had a pretty good one. So I got my money on Daniel Michael on this one. He's going to have a pretty solid race because he did miss last week. So he needs this race and the next one. He has to be present for in terms of just overall points end of things. So hopefully he has himself a good one. But I got my money on him. I'm feeling he'll have a good one today. All
right. Now I'm going to go with Alex Witt. Partly because you stole my man. So I can't choose Dan Michael. So I'm going to go with Alex Witt. I think it's going to be close between these two. I'm not going to lie. So let's see how they get on. They are coming around the second to last corner before Alex becomes the pace car. So stay tuned for this one. Give the timing tower a minute. Let everybody bunch up, ready to go. And here we go. Once more. There's the green flag man, Barney. And, well, just to let you all know, right about now, we are green. From Jordan Malcolm, tucked up right behind him as well. The outside line's going to struggle here. We've got the McDonald's car as well. He's going to be coming through. Managed to make it through currently at the moment. But everybody, touch wood, made it through. Exactly, nearly close to taking people out, but it is going to be this first run up in the hill, up into the bus stop chicane. Who's going to be able to keep this out in front? The draft is going to be strong. Let's see what happens here with the big old NASCARs going through this chicane first. It's going to be an interesting one here, Kenton, but everybody looked like they got away cleanly.
Yeah, it was a little touch and go as we can see someone taking the little runoff there. Cody Kern taking the runoff through the I guess bus stop chicane and going straight instead. I guess, you know, trying to keep the car if he locked up. Yeah, they got a little lucky. It looked like Lewis was going to lock up pretty hard going into that corner, especially as he went really far inside. It looked like a little too much, I'd say. Especially for turn one. As Anthony Rail gets a little loose, but he is able to keep everything going forward, thankfully. But he was able to keep that one. And somehow, yeah, they made it through turn one. It looked a little precocious for a bit there, but they were able to get through clean and keep it all going.
Zach Lewis here with Devon Collicott. They've just got round turn one at the moment. Oh! Seth Peck straight into the wall. At turn one on lap two, unfortunately for him, it looks like he's just gone and absolutely ramped the wall. You can see the damage on the right-hand side of that car. And unfortunately for him, it's not going to be looking good currently at the moment. Keeper's got Spain now tucked up right behind him as well. These guys are running into the bus. I wouldn't recommend going right. I'm not going to lie, they're even tricky in a radical, and you are about the double size of a radical, so I do not recommend going through that bus stop chicane too wide currently at the moment. But Zach Lewis has got Ryan McClellan right behind him. There's a second gap opening up at front. We're pulling him over. They need to get hold of it, because for his sake, can't be doing this early on.
No, I mean, letting him get too far ahead of you. Yes, there's that stage break, which will help out a little bit compared to a typical road race. We will have that sort of break that'll happen. But even still, you don't want to give him too much leeway. If you start losing out on time, things like that, it just makes his life a lot easier. You definitely want to put a little bit of pressure on him. Obviously, keep it clean, but make him have to think. Make him have to adapt to what you're doing and kind of play off of you opposed to just giving him all the space he needs. Otherwise, you know, it becomes a very easy day at the office for him.
Yeah, Kern just went in really deep. He's just cleared Sherman, and then he went down into turn one, and unfortunately he just went in so deep there. But Devon Collicott and Zach Lewis is one of your closest battles currently on track at the moment. These cars are literally about half a second back. Jordan Malcolm has cleared down Michael, and now they're all setting off after Alex. How is this going to work out for Michael? He can't be making this move around the last turn. If he does, I'll be very surprised. It's going to be the run down into turn 1 or the run up into the bus stop, but he needs to stay as close as possible. Michael needs as many points as he can wrap up here, doesn't he? He needs to get as many. If he can get second, that might be ideal, but he does need as many points as possible.
Yeah, he's definitely going to be garnering as many options as he can, because yeah, unless he can get a W here, he needs to get points, and obviously without anyone in the top 8 winning in Talladega last week, it's left the door open a little bit. So at most you're going to have 2 people get in on wins, which at this point, just based on the top 5, that's a pretty solid chance that someone in that grouping will get there. It's obviously not quite the same as a very intense change can happen very quickly if unless, I mean, it is still racing and weird things happen. I've seen 5 cars go out at one time, so it is entirely possible. So, but very unlikely with this group when it comes to road racing. So it's going to come down to points for at least 2 positions, and getting as many points in these kind of races, especially when there's a couple of guys who are not here this week in that top 8. It's a good idea to maximize the points you get.
Yeah, Calvin Ross and Terry Spainhour were side by side a minute ago. Spainhour's just gone back up the inside again. So Ross passed Spainhour, Spainhour passed Ross, and Ross has now just gone past Spainhour again. Unfortunately for Spainhour, ran wide there as well. There's somebody, Christian Strada, has got hit the inside wall. That's good from Strada's point of view. Currently at the moment, we can have a look back and see what he's been up to. Oh, he got squarely out of the second to last and then just on the gravel. Unfortunately for Christian Strada in the Budweiser 29. And he's going to be running it round the inside of the grass to try and stay out the way. He does. Whether that was a forced move onto the grass or unfortunately he just didn't have anywhere to go. But Strada is dropping down the order now and is sitting down in 12th place currently at the moment. Back up front, Malcolm and Michael. Malcolm and Michael together, literally about 3 tenths back. Zach Lewis and Keith still sitting right behind at the moment with 2 tenths behind him. Strada as now, he has got Anthony Radel, in front of him currently at the moment. He is 3 tenths back currently at the moment, so there's a couple of pockets of battles happening on the track at the moment. And unfortunately for us, none of them involves my boy Terry Spainhour after he just lost the place to Calvin Ross and run wide in that very corner there as well. But Keith is under attack from Lewis here, and then he's going to be pressurised down into turn 1.
Yeah, I mean, he's taking the inside line here. The smart idea, you block off that ability, but at the same time, you now have to get back wide, which is going to cost you some time trying to get over. You lose a little bit of speed, and that allows Lewis to make his way on by. If I'm looking at that little battle that was happening behind him, now there's about a second gap between Michael and Malcolm. I was going to be hoping that they would battle longer just to kind of not take each other out, but you slow each other down when you start doing that. It would give Witt a little more space there. But Michael seemingly having gotten past Malcolm and is giving a little bit of a gap here, but this little grouping of Keith and Ross and Lewis, they've got a nice little battle going on. And I mean, for this race here, for these 3, it's a big one. I mean, it's going to be very important, and a lot of these tracks are going to be utilized for for next year or throughout iRacing, and so getting seat time is going to be huge for getting ready for next year at the very least. Yeah,
definitely as well on that one. And don't forget, obviously, JPB have just recently re-signed with the BSC, so we will be broadcasting next season as well with a potential start date of the 14th of June. So the finish season will finish on the 10th of May, and then you've got about a month to wait until the 14th of June for next season, okay? So sit there, chill out, enjoy yourself, go on holiday, whatever you need to do, but you're going to have about a month's wait between seasons currently at the moment. Strada is pressurising Spainhour here, and it's going to be a good old tough job if Spainhour can stay currently in front of Strada. This is what Strada is looking at. That green, obviously, Kenny Services car on the 86 of Terry Spainhour as they're going into the bus stop. You've got to hug that inside wall. You can't leave that much room. You've got to put it as close as possible because that inside curb, if you're off just a little bit like Spainhour was, that happens.
That was a bold move by Strada there. That could have ended ugly very quick.
Yeah, but he had to kind of go for it, didn't he? He didn't want to be behind Spainhour. He needed to make the move forward, did Strada. You know, he's in the playoffs. He's got to get up. He's got to make them points up, because if he doesn't, he's going to struggle when it comes to the point system. So he's got to be looking at trying to get back up on track. He made a mistake. He knew he made a mistake. Wasn't ideal, and now he's pressurising to go forward. Anthony Radel is another one sitting down in 11th place at this moment in time, chasing Spainhour. Spainhour is trying to chase Strada. Lock up from Spainhour there. Big puff of smoke coming out the back there, Kenton, and that's not something they want to be doing going down into turn one.
No, for sure, especially coming into that the outside curb there as you make your way around turn one. It's not friendly. It's very high. So you run a little bit of risk of kind of rubbing the floor of your car. You get a little loose because you can disrupt the car depending how much speed you hit it with, depending on the angle you hit it with. It's not really made for you to go up and over super well. So it's not really a curb you want to spend a lot of time going back and forth over just to avoid as much damage and reduce your chances of spinning out. So once you get over it, you're going to lose a couple spots or a little bit of time as guys are going to be a little faster coming up.
Yeah, definitely on that one. Welcome in, Mr. Spainhour Senior, sir. Thank you so much for joining us. Your boy is currently set down in 10th place at the moment. Oh, Radel, where are you going? Can you... Oh, Tokyo Drift style in a NASCAR. Go on, Anthony Radel. In the Ford there as well, but unfortunately did lose a place to Cody Kern while doing that exhibition Tokyo Drift around the final corner there as well. Not an ideal line, that, Michael. That's not, sorry, Kenton, that's not something they want to do. That's because I was looking at Daniel Michael there as I said your name. I do apologise.
All good. Yeah, no, the drifting, well, in Need for Speed, Underground, and stuff like that is a beneficial way to take corners. Not so much in the NASCAR or the Cup cars here. They don't really have the tire for that, amongst other things. So if you can avoid the drifting, it's usually a little more recommended. And I mean, these tracks, these corners, it's a very wide track. Definitely a lot more space, and it's, I wouldn't say necessarily geared towards NASCAR and Cup cars going around here, but it's definitely made with them in mind in the sense that they do have these much wider spaces to kind of have a little bit of a runoff coming off of corners and things like that. But you really want to utilize a lot of the track just to keep as much speed as you can coming in and out of corners.
Yeah, Spainhour looked like got a bit loose out of the last turn. Cody Kern has just gone past your winner from last week, of course, as well. Mum's in chat. Lydia, where you at? With a question mark as well. How dare you not watch your boy sitting down at 11? Go on, Mum. Go on. Just don't get the slipper out, Mum. As I've learned over the years, that hurts. So Zach Lewis, Calvin Ross battling away here as well. Calvin in the 20 car, Lewis in the McDonald's here. Going through the bus stop, you got to try and get that curb a little more. You want to kind of straighten up as soon as you bounce. You want to get the left turn on that one. Keeps under pressure further back, but I think that's because he's out under a blue flag currently with Cody Kern behind him. So keep it under a blue flag. I would say, are we going to be worried about blue flags here, because we don't really have that in this series, because we're normally on an oval and we normally allow him to get back through. But right about now, he's clearly holding up Cody Kern here. So would we expect to move out the way? You know what I mean? Would we be thinking, come on, son?
I mean, the competitor in me wants to say no. Because you're still fighting. It's not like he's, he's holding him up in a sense, but he's not really stopping him in the sense that he's not weaving. He's keeping to his line and just kind of driving and Kern just can't seem to get, or not Kern, sorry. Yeah, Kern. He just can't seem to get past him here. I could see coming maybe at, well, and especially if I'm going to do it right now, I wouldn't want to be trying to do it, but it looks like he does give a little bit of a lift to allow Kern the space going into the bus stop there to let him by. But if you're keeping to your line, you're not necessarily not just legitimately being in the way. I don't think it's too much of an issue if they kind of keep fighting and try and do what they can to not lose more positions. But definitely, I mean, he's got to do what he can to keep his race going forward, and lifting every time someone starts to come up on you is obviously not the easiest thing. What you really have to do is I think that was Calvin Ross getting a little squirrely coming out of the last turn there before heading down the straightaway.
Yeah, he definitely did there. Zach Lewis, Christian Strada, Calvin Ross together, Anthony Radel behind Spainal going down into turn 1. You need to hook this ridge. There's a ridge on the left-hand side there, so you need to get your car in that to help aiding carrying the speed down the outside there. Brake a little bit earlier, turn a little bit earlier, and click the apex on the way through. Trust me, I'm a magician, but that could be why I'm in the booth, of course. Don't forget that, and I'm not out on track currently at the moment. But Spainal got a lot better run from Radel there, and he's started to move away from Radel. Unfortunately, Zach Lewis is not dropping Strada currently at the moment, and then we've got the Calvin Ross behind him there as well. So it's going to be even trickier for Zach Lewis with Christian Strada tucked up right behind him and Calvin Ross behind that as well. So stay tuned for this one, because this battle could get a little bit spicy. Don't forget, it's laps 20. We've got a stage break. Sorry, I had to check myself there. And we have extended it to 50 laps, okay, as well. It was originally 45. We have extended it to 50. So it's going to be a 50-lap race, and we've got 37 remaining with a stage break at 20. So let's see how this one works out as well. But it is Strada, Ross, and Lewis. Ross has got a big old lock up there. That's not going to aid his progress. However, from Strada's point of view, he's got an epic run up through the S's, if he can just stay tucked up behind that Lewis now. On the way round, he's going to go left. He wants to go over the right-hand side of the ridge there. Take the ridge. That's it. Get your aid in, and you're done. Done and dusted there. Kenton looked quite easy at the end of the day, but he has got to get the car back on the line. He does do. Chops the nose. He's missed it. Oh no, Strada, you're a man of your own downfall currently at the moment. Welcome to the world of a slowdown, and that is going to drop you behind Cody Kern. And Strada could have done without that being where he is at the moment.
Yeah, rather unfortunately, he pulled off a beautiful little switchback there on Lewis. Got himself onto the inside, got himself ahead of Lewis, and then just didn't have either the timing to brake as he was trying to get his car back over onto the outside line, or unfortunately had just had too much speed and it wasn't going to slow down soon enough for him to make that turn without causing some other issues. So a little bit unfortunate there. I mean, if I'm Lewis, I'm a little bit thankful, as now you just have Calvin Ross to worry about behind you, but rather unfortunate for Strada there, as he's now going to work his way back up to that position.
Yeah, Jordan Malcolm just cleared Michael here as well, going round through the bus stop and through lap 14. Jordan Malcolm is up into second place. Michael is now in third. Spainal's gone in, Brandon McLaughlin's gone in, Keith's gone in, and now Sherman is in, but Sherman has had his own troubles currently at the moment as well. So he is into the pits, but he has had an incident that jumped straight to the pits as well. So we'll keep an eye on and see. We can actually have a look and see what Greg Sherman's been up to. Oh, he's coming through the bus stop. Did he hit the... What's he done here? Going through out a loop. Oh, he got squirrely. And that...
That's where a correct repair is real nice.
Yeah. Unfortunately, though, that minute-and-a-half tow to get back there is not real nice. So, unfortunately, we'll have to sit there. You know, there's a pros and cons to this, Kenton. One of them is you get your quick repair. The other one is the 1.5 minutes or 2 minute tow to get back. But Jordan Malcolm still under... Oh! Spainal nearly got himself involved in something he didn't really need to at that point, as the leaders come past him. And that was close for Alex Witt, Malcolm, and currently Michael. First, second, and third. Your boy here, Kenton, needs to go some to try and get past Malcolm, really, doesn't he? He could do with the win to go straight into the playoffs.
100%. I mean, for him, win is going to be a welcome help. As obviously with him missing Talladega last week, he's a little bit on the back foot coming into this one, having to kind of work his way back to, I guess, even necessarily. Obviously 2 guys missing out, but that still leaves 6 guys that are here that did race last week. So he's got a little bit of effort to kind of make his way through, and doing a lot today to save you from having to worry next week, because obviously next week is going to be a higher stress if you aren't an automatic buy and having to really rely on points. The only other thing I could really see is we had talked about with Carmen Russo earlier that a fuel stint is, like a lot coming out of that corner there, but a fuel stint being about 17, maybe 18 laps, and then the stage break being at 20, I could see Michael having been more on the fuel saving mode.
Yeah, Malcolm's
he's going to go out for another lap here.
Yeah, lap 16, round about where we said it was as well. They would sit with the top 17 laps as a base minimum, and they just start coming through now. So we're going to keep an eye on this one. Witt's in as well. Jordan Malcolm's in. Joshua Kern's in. Sherman is still in there, of course. So we've got no Andrew Almquist, of course. He's the other man in the playoffs. He can't make it. He's out of turn for work. And no Josh McGuigan as well. So your boy, Cody Kern, where you going? There we go. He's found his way back. Good job, Cody. Excellent work there. Getting it back on track. So amazing from Cody Kern. Zach Lewis is in the pits. Strada's now in the pits as well. So it's going to be what Daniel Michael's going to do. Is Michael going to go into the pits at the end of this lap and hope that he's opened up enough? It's about a 40-second pit stop at this moment in time. And on that, though, that would mean roughly 16:32, probably 2, maybe 3 laps. Or they're going to have to be some fuel saving on that second stint there, because otherwise, in my calculation, 16:32 and the stage break, possibly, which they're all going to come in for without a shadow of a doubt and top up again, which might actually save them doing the 3rd stop, but it's going to be close.
Yeah, I mean, I'm assuming, Michael kind of going for the Formula fans, that overcut, which I don't know is going to necessarily work super well, as we can see Witt coming through.
Clears him.
And passing him there, and then you can see Malcolm just behind, and Daniel Michael coming through right now.
That's going to be close.
This could get a little close, but I think, it's a little loose. But he is able to kind of very well clear Malcolm here. He's got a nice gap now there, and he is actually closer to Witt. So it looks like the overcut, while it didn't get him first place, has definitely got him a little closer to the front. And then, I would be shocked if everyone doesn't come in for the stage break and do a splash and dash. Or if you didn't take tires and just got fuel for this one, getting a new set of tires and then the little extra fuel fill just to make it through.
Yeah, I think that's going to be the case as well. Christian Strada, Calvin Ross, Brandon McLaughlin all together as well. In front of that is Joshua Kern. Not Joshua Kern, it is Joshua Kuhn. Kern. I never get his name right. I'm sure there's a pronunciation in there somewhere. As the 81 car moves over. Not probably on purpose, but it did this time, and that was Brandon McLaughlin. So these guys are all rushing down into the bus stop together. I don't think this is going to work here. Somebody somewhere is going to be have to try and make a move out the way. It's not Radel, it's not Spainhour, but it is Zach Lewis on the back end. He's currently sitting in 10th place with Cody Kern. Brandon McLaughlin 8th. Strada's up the road a little bit more, of course, and Calvin Ross is sitting right in front of him currently at the moment. Alex Witt's gap is down to 0.9 of a second, and there's no other reason for that I can see currently, bar the fact he must have made a mistake somewhere, because he looks like he's lost a chunk of time, Kevin, because he had more time than that coming out of that pit window. And now, looks like he's got about barely a second gap.
Yeah, I think he had like a 1.4 second lead there on Daniel Michael. So it's, yeah, either Witt had a little bit of an incident, or somehow Michael has found a new fun gear that no one else seems to be able to have found yet. So this is, I think this is going to be a very interesting duel with these two. We've seen both of them have very good races on road throughout the entirety of this season between the Coda and Sonoma. If they're both able to have a good solid, yes, Daniel Michael gets a little loose coming over that curve that I have mentioned. If you go over it, it can get your car a little unsettled. Apparently he is not listening to the stream. If these two keep this kind of battle going on, I think we're in for a very interesting race here.
Stage brake is active as well. I believe this is a part of the stage brake. I don't believe, let's have a look at this a minute. I just want to check that this is, because at this moment this stage brake was full. Yeah, it was. It was just the stage brake. I just wanted to make sure as well. You can see my lovely tower doing beautiful things. Proud of me. It works. Well done. Yeah. Sorry. Bigging myself up a little bit. You know what I mean? Alex Witt, as I say, we were expecting people to start going into the pits, I would have thought. Let's have a quick chat with Alex Witt here, your stage one winner. Alex, can you hear me?
I can hear you.
How's it going out there, bud? You know, taking the stage win, that's always good. What are we doing in pit stops here? Because I've got this as lap 16, lap 32, and then possibly might not having to splash and dash at the end. What's the situation in the car?
I think it's just going to be a one stop, pretty much halfway through. I'll take the tires now, and then it'll just be fuel midway through, and should be good at the end, I think.
Okay, well, I'm hopeful on that one. What was the deal with the pit stop on lap 16 then, if you're thinking of a one stop?
I think even a pit stop on 16 should work. I mean, I wasn't saving fuel there. I probably might save a little bit this time around. I was probably like 2/10 off of being able to go an extra lap. So I'll probably do a little bit of fuel saving this run.
Okay, well, let's hope and see how you get on here, bud. Good luck, and I hope you make it through. Obviously, automatic qualification for the playoffs is up for grabs here today.
Yes, that's definitely the goal. I was expecting that this would probably be my best bet. Las Vegas, you know, you never know what'll happen on an oval.
Fully agree with you on that one, mate. We've seen it as the season's gone on. But good luck, Alex. We'll put you back in the chat room. Enjoy yourself for the rest of the race.
Thank you.
Okay, that wasn't quite the strategy call I was expecting.
No, not necessarily. I would have figured, yeah.
I'm a little bit confused as well, because he went in at 16 and then he said one halfway through. Now, are we saying he's going to go in, take tyres and not fuel this time, but then in about 5-10 laps time he's going to need to go in for fuel? Or am I getting this around the wrong way?
Based on how he said it, yeah, waiting till about halfway. So unless he's coming in right now,
which
it looks like, yeah, everyone's going to come in at this point here. So that'll, you know, get him his little splash and dash. I don't know if he's planning to take tires. I don't know his game plan on that end of things. I guess we'll see. But you go from this, go 16, 17 laps, and just do one more kind of on your way through. It should be pretty good, though you might even want to split that, not quite go all the way. But if you're going to do it that way, with this, I mean, okay, so 16 laps puts you... Oh, I can
Which
do
shot
math.
is pit box? Which shot is pit box? He's behind, look. Michael's going up first, and then Witt went up. Witt's going to get out in front.
No, that backfired horribly.
He shot his
that's
pit.
not what you wanted to do. It wasn't
as close as he needed to be, and he had to go forward, and then Michael went up first. And now, Michael is going to jump Witt here. Now, obviously, he was in the lead at the stage break. So will he have the right to take back that lead, or is he going to stay where he is?
Unfortunately, he had the lead at the stage break, but once you hit it comes down to your pit stop. So he no longer has right to that. And unfortunately, I think that's actually going to put him pretty far back too, because it looked like a couple of cars were able to get out, although I think Witt and Michael both took tires. I don't think that, I believe that was Malcolm. I don't think he took tires on this one.
No, it was about 20 seconds, about 10, maybe 11 seconds slower.
Yeah, so I think he just did a splash and dash in that regard and just kind of got himself onto a new set. Or some new fuel or more fuel, and then back underway. So it'll be interesting how that plays out. Obviously, I think they only have a couple of sets of tires with this. I think it was only 3 sets, including the ones they started on. So you don't really need a ton of tires, but obviously a fresh set to start the new stint would have been a nice idea. But yeah, that's not how you want to have a pit stop. I mean, ideally he would have come out ahead of Michael and really maintained his kind of overall lead, but I guess we'll have to see kind of how it all plays out. He will end up on, I believe, actually no, this will be road, so they won't split into 2 different lanes. So yeah, he's got a lot of work to do now.
Yeah, Jordan Malcolm will be the leader on there as well. This is going off with 27 to go. Obviously, we are going to go one more. Pace car is going to be in this lap. He's very surprised if they're taking this too wide, but they probably will be.
Well, I think maybe they are doing it.
Looks like
it might be the NASCAR
restart.
end of things. Yeah, the NASCAR, they do it a little different than road.
Yeah, so we are going to be going too wide now, and these guys will have to control themselves for the rest of the lap. Thank you so much for joining us, of course, here on the JPB YouTube channel. And don't forget to give the video a big old thumbs up, subscribe, turn on the bells. That'll be absolutely amazing. We've got some awesome racing coming up this week as well. No fewer than about another 12 to 13 broadcasts to go before we get to Sunday. So stay tuned for that one. And don't forget, we've got the Peck Endurance this weekend as well. It will be 8 hours of Silverstone running this weekend. So stay tuned for that one. We have 5 going off tomorrow night and Thursday evening as well. So plenty of choices for you here to pick what your racing poison will be, because there will be enough of it. Now we've got 27 laps to go, if my quick maths is correct, which it is. So let's see how this one works out as well. Malcolm's taken a chance here, I think, Kenton. Could this backfire on him, you reckon?
I mean, it would depend on how his wear has been, and he was pushing pretty good with Daniel Michael there for a while. So with everyone else having taken tires, unless he's really hoping that the old tires of everybody else is beneficial to him at this point, I don't know. I would have just taken the extra tires and been good to go for most of, if not the rest of the race. Or maybe, I guess maybe he's hoping that he can take tires later and yeah, it's befuddling of myself, but again, that's why you and I are up here and not driving.
Exactly, but here we go. The pace car is going to head in now. Malcolm will become your lead car with Michael behind him and Witt on the outside. Witt's going to struggle from there. He did not want to be on that outside lane, really. It's all up to Jordan Malcolm now. Here we go. He's going to be going green. He has already gone green. And we are back racing once again. Michael's on the outside, on the inside line. Witt's coming set up right behind him there as well, running that inside line. Can Michael hold off Witt as they're going up through the S's? It's going to be close. It's going to be side by side. It's all about whether or not there's going to be contact. There was a little bit of door rubbing there. Michael's come again around the second part of the S's. He's been going on to the road, but more contact here as well. And here's the 90th Devon Collicott going to get himself involved in this one. And these two get racing up to the bus stop here as well. Collicott's got to leave him room. You cannot be taking this too wide, not in these big old cars here. Michael's got an absolute barnstorming. Looks like he's got a bit of a better run coming out from Witt there, and now they're going round the outer loop once more here and across that line. But everybody at the moment they made that restart cleanly. Malcolm cleared off down the road. He's about 2 seconds up already, and everybody else is bunched up in the pack behind.
Yeah, it was a very bold move, I would say, out of Michael, or Alex Witt there, as he He almost went 3 wide to start. Definitely stuck to that inside lane. Really leaned on the inside coming and up into turn 2 there. And just kind of let the flow of the S's sort of allow him to hold on to that first place. As Daniel Michael goes very wide coming out of that turn 1 again, which is going to lose him a ton of time. And yeah, I mean, it's seemingly have worked out a little bit for Witt here. Is like we had set off the hawk when it came to this. You got to take advantage of the opportunities when they show up, and Witt has definitely.
Definitely has gone up into second place. Malcolm's 2 seconds out in front currently at the moment. Michael is 3.4 back from Malcolm. Noel Hannah is not having a great one at the moment. He's down in 9th place. Unless he's going to pull out something incredible, we will find out. Devon Collicott from Strada, from Kern, from Lewis, from Ross, from Hannah on the back end of this group. So let's see here and what happens with these guys in this mid-pack. This is your battle for 4th, 5th, 6th, 7th and 8th place all together, but Malcolm's out in front by 2 seconds. Alex Witt behind him 1.4, Michael 1.4 back from that, and then we've got a Collicott battle here as well. Barney on the right hand side, just on the racing, bless him. He gets to see a lot of racing, does Barney, and does an incredible job. But these guys are running down into turn 1 again. Up through the S's we go here. You know, where are we at in the moment of position? Who needs to be where and who isn't where they need to be, Kevin?
I mean, if you're Noel Hannah, unfortunately, you're definitely, or even McLaughlin, you're just not where you want to be. Strada has made amazing moves here to get himself back up into a position of at least significance in the sense. Like he was down, and at one point I think it's like 13th or 14th for a bit there after his little excursion off the line, shall we say. But he has made beautiful moves, and he's gotten himself back up into the top 5. And like we said, points is going to be everything. So if Malcolm, obviously, he's done what he needs to do. He's gotten himself up into first place, whether that sticks or not. I mean, the time is starting to come down a little bit as Witt is starting to reel him in, and that could be as simple as just the tire wear that he is now dealing with and battling with might be starting to play a little bit of a factor. But as we see, in the background there, I'm not sure if you caught that, but he is currently backing in to the into the pit lane, which is definitely not the direction you want to be doing that in.
Just aims it round the wall, and then what happens? All on his not ideal.
No, definitely not the way you want to be going around that. And then lost the front quarter panel and just kind of back it into the pit lane and pull a U-turn real fast, or just I guess you got a quick repair, take a little bit of damage, just get yourself around and get going again. But rather unfortunate is Calvin Ross was having a good race. It was doing not too bad.
Yeah, now unfortunately he's in the wall backing down the pit lane. So here we go. Collicott, Strada, Kern. These three are now climbing into contact once more. Don't forget, obviously Kern took last week's win as well, not involved in the playoffs, so it didn't affect anybody's playoff positions. This one will. The top 3 in red are in the playoffs. Collicott is not, Strada is, Kern is, Hannah and McLaughlin are. So they've got to be trying to score points here as high as possible to keep their playoffs hopes alive. The top 4 get decided after next week's race for Vegas to go into Homestead in 2 weeks' time. That's going to be the main point. If you had a 4, and then there's got Witt, Michael, McLaughlin and McGuigan. I've got Witt, Michael, Hannah and Malcolm. So I'm doing all right currently at the moment. That's 3 out of 4 in the top 3. So there we go.
Yeah, I mean, I'll take the hit on that one. Yeah, I mean, Michael and Witt, they'll definitely be there, or at least seemingly. Michael needs to have a great race today, and then he has to also have a very good one in Vegas, and kind of some chips fall for him, as if a couple guys that did show up for that, or that were here for that first race, and not enjoying themselves in the sun. Also, I will point out, Daniel Michael still didn't bring us anything, and I kind of, a little bit of a curse on his next pit stop for the commentators, as he did not provide us with gifts for coming back.
No, it did not.
But I mean, yeah, like it's these races, you have to take advantage of it when you can, and the fact that you win and oh man, and the other guy that's not here now. My brain just blanked on him.
Andrew Almquist.
Almquist, thank you. I was like, I know it's an A, but which one? So with them not being here, Michael has to take full advantage and get as many points as he can out of this to really push his ability to make it to that one missed race in the oval racing that could be dangerous, because obviously 6 people are still here that did race last week, so it could be a little interesting for him, so he's got to maximize what he can
Try and get up as high as possible. Oh, Keith is just about to hit the wall. As you saw in the background there, Josh Keith comes spinning out and then just went straight into the wall. If you've missed it completely, well, here we go. Not that one, I want this one. Here we go. Just goes round the second to last corner, gets all out of shape. Over the curb he goes, and then bang, straight into the wall for Josh Keith and into the tyre barrier for good health.
Yeah, that'll do a little bit of damage to your what little downforce these cars are able to produce. So it's a little dicey there, as we can see Strouder's made his way past Collicutt, with Kern pushing a little bit as well here. So you've got the top 4 all looking for playoff points to get themselves into that final race. A lot of effort as Henley even makes a move on Lewis there and gets himself up another position as well.
Hannah's now just got to try and clear Kern and Collicutt, and we know how difficult that is, because how quick Kern was obviously different to an oval, being at Dega to being down here at Watkins Glen. So we'll have to see how much pace Cody Kern has got here. That currently is about 1.8 seconds to Hannah behind him. However, in front of him is Devon Collicutt, and that is not 1.2. I can tell you how much that is. That is about 3 tenths currently at the moment. That's 3 tenths of a second, everyone. Not 3 seconds on that, and this is how close it's going to be as these guys wind up coming through the S's. They go over that little bridge walkway there, just underneath, and Kern's got a run. He's going to be looking to the inside into the bus stop as well. This is never good too wide. That was what was going to happen. Cody Kern door rubbing through with Collicutt, and Collicutt then puts it into the wall. Ouch.
He's got a little bit of a front fender now, kind of loose, and obviously he's going to head on in and get himself a quick little venture through pit lane here, as he's going to have 20 to go. Unfortunately for him, that's not the best of timing.
No.
Because now you're 19-ish, 20 laps out. You'll probably, unless you really are able to milk it, or if the repair takes enough time, that his tires are going to be, or his fuel might run out at that point. So rather unfortunate, and definitely not what you want to see. But I mean, he's shown some pretty good pace for his first race this year.
Yeah, that's what I mean. I don't think we've seen him obviously this season. Devon Collicutt. So we've got 19 to go. Currently we're on board with Noel Hannah, chasing down Cody Kern and trying to leave Zach Lewis behind as well. Cars are pretty spread out at the moment. Winscap's back up to 2 seconds. Michael is 2 seconds back from that as well. And then Strada is a further 7 seconds back from there. So it's going to be a tricky one for these guys at this moment in time. Spain now sat in 10th place currently at the moment. Seth Pegg and Kern here are sitting and down in 13th and 14th. This is a battle for position. They are 1 lap down currently at the moment, but they are still fighting each other. Oh no! Oh. Wow.
Oh, that was a little bit of a suck in air very quickly and kind of panic for a moment there. That was it's definitely not the most ideal way to have made it in the corner, but they made it through safely. No collision.
I'm not sure how. I'm not sure how.
I don't know either, but somehow they managed to pull it off. So.
Yeah, but they're back at each other again, Peg and Kern here, as well as they're going down the start-finish straight. I do like Peg's lead, just trying to work out what that back end is from.
Yeah, it kind of looks like a lion.
Yeah, I'm trying to think. It reminds me of a sports team, but I can't remember which one it is. I don't know. It does look very familiar though. If anybody's got any idea at home, let me know as well where you think that back end is from.
It is a lion. I don't know what sports team it is, but so if the team on the back there, Holden, is a car manufacturer, and their logo is a lion with his paw on a ball-ish shape.
That would explain.
I don't know.
Seth Peck being from Australia.
There you go. Yeah, because Holden is an Australian subsidiary of General Motors.
Oh, Zach Lewis has crashed. Zach Lewis has crashed. You've just seen him now as they've gone past it. What happened to... Oh, man. And on the grass. Managed
to keep it on the wall.
Yeah, kept it out of any form of... anything that could do him damage. No. Oh.
Nope, never mind.
Oh, he was doing so well then as well. Unfortunately for Lewis there. He was doing so well, but we are back to live pictures. And once again, Seth Peck is currently sitting down in a 13th place. And we've got Josh Malcolm currently in front here, leading on the way by 1.6 seconds. And then another 2.9 behind that is Dan Michael in the background. You can see him there. Keith is in the middle, but Keith is obviously a back marker. And then we've got Christian Strada coming around the last corner as well. So it's all a little bit in the mix, but it's all on Michael. Really just needs to finish. I think that's got to be the thing, isn't it? He's got to just finish, surely.
Yeah, I mean, that's going to be his number one thing in maximizing points by finishing. So if you got to keep Strutter behind you. You don't want to let him get ahead and let him catch you. I mean, he's got almost 10 seconds of a gap there. But keep it out of trouble. Don't over risk it by trying to chase down Witt too hard and, run the risk of your car getting a little loose coming out of a turn, introducing your car to if you do that, obviously then you have to pit, you have to get some damage repaired, things like that. That's just going to slow you down and make it a lot harder for you to be able to maximize your points for the next race as well.
Yeah, just been informed, Holden is Chevy in Australia.
Yeah, GM.
So there we go. As he moves over there, allows Zach Lewis to come through. Obviously, Zach is lapping these guys, so we'll expect to make his way through. And in the process, Peg misses completely the entrance to the bus stop there and completely doesn't do himself any favours. However, one man also is not doing himself any favours is that man there who just went wide in the bus stop, ran all the way out to the right, then had to cut across the grass. But he's currently sitting in 10th place at the moment, so that's not a bad run here as well. I think we're all in an agreement, me and Mr. Spainhouse Senior, NASCARs don't belong on road tracks. So there we go, that's my input. End of conversation. Jordan Malcolm out in front, 1.7 seconds back. Oh, it's just not natural, Kenton, it's not natural.
Yeah, it's definitely a acquired taste, we'll go with.
It's not acquired.
But,
it can't be. It can't be. You're used to seeing, it's like used to seeing them go left and left and left, and that is it. Because they're just too lumpy. They're too lumpy to be throwing down into turn one effectively. They're just, no. No, sorry, Armand. I do love you and all. Not my cup of tea. You know what I mean?
Well, we'll see how many road courses we end up with next season.
Don't.
Hopefully it's a little fewer.
Yeah, a little fewer. We already got 3 on this one that I'm moaning about this season. You know what I mean? So, there we go. But further down, Calvin Ross is 7th. We're having a nice little tiny battle as well. They've got a few cars in front of them, of course. there, and Joshua Kern is the car in front of Zach Lewis. I bet Lewis is spitting bubbles about now. He needs Kern out the way. You need to allow him through. You might be fighting, but you are under blue flags there, sir. And I do agree that should be a lift and let him through, because from Lewis's point of view, he's going to be spitting bubbles about now. He needs to clear you, and I know you're not in the playoffs, and that's a fair point, and I get that. But please remove that car from the way. That's all I'm going to say on that.
Yeah, it's in this kind of situation. But he's like right on you. You're not going to lose your position. It looks like, what is there? Calvin Ross is in between, who's also actually Zach Lewis is. Yeah, Zach Lewis like Kuhn. I mean, he's kind of in a rough spot where Ross is the next competitor he's got to deal with. All that's one way to get yourself out of the way.
Now look.
Oh, he's going to have a real hard time. That front left isn't working at all anymore.
No, By goes quarter panel, but now look though, that's the problem. There's so much of an easier end to that situation than put yourself in the wall at the bus stop. You're trying to overdrive something to stay in front of somebody, and it just doesn't make sense. And you know, you're in a position where you're being blue flagged. You know, generally, blue flags under any racing should mean get out of the way. However, you know, we know the iRacing term and conditions is completely different, blah, 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 blah. I've heard it all before. But at the end of the day, that could have been avoided. That was just overdriving a car to stay in front of somebody when he didn't need to. And I didn't get it. I don't get that. I'm a big advocate of, if you're blue flags and you're not fighting anyone, just remove yourself. You know, you've got a nice long straight here. You're up the S's. Please remove yourself from any forms of interrupting any form of racing that doesn't involve you. But Michael is in the pits. Strada's coming in as well. Witt and Malcolm have gone round one more time. So I'm going to now stop ranting about blue flags, and we're going to talk about back up with the racing once more. Kenna, don't sit there laughing. I can hear you.
I like it. You show your passion for the drive. I enjoy the. I don't want to call it a rant or a ramble.
That's better.
Call it passion.
Yeah. All right. Now let me know what you think at home regarding this situation, then, right? Because I can't be alone on this. Surely, I can't be the only one who, if you're under a blue flag and you're not racing anyone, you're not near anyone, it's not going to matter where you finish. You know, you're down in 14th. It's not going to really matter whether you finish 14th or 15th. You're not in the championship. You're turned up, you're racing, I get it. You know, there was a nice long straightaway there before he could have lifted. There was the S's before and the straightaway as well. And instead of that, we overdrive the car, coming out of the S's and put it in the wall. Do you think Zach Lewis's opinion would have been the same if he'd hit him, taking him out against that wall? Come on.
Well, had he taken him out? Yes.
But
I mean, yeah, Witt coming in there. It looks like Malcolm and Hannah have all come in and out as well. So Daniel Michael, if he's got to really start pushing, he actually might have.
It is.
I don't want to say masterclass this, but it might work out in his favor. Although actually,
nope.
No, it didn't. He does get past Hannah, but Witt is going to get out ahead of him, and he's going to stick back in third position there.
Malcolm got off and Witt got out up the road as well. And the gap's pretty much the same as where they was when they went in.
And, I mean, we haven't really spoken much of him, but Malcolm's having a fantastic race up in front here. He, you know, took advantage of a slight mistake by Witt in the pit stop during the stage break and hasn't looked back since. So he's kind of kept him at that about 1.5 to 1.7 second gap behind him and just managed that gap. It's been great.
Well, I got a funny feeling I couldn't be in the stewards booth after this. We've got Armand in the YouTube chat. Zach told Josh to keep racing. They were just vibing. So. Yeah. We'll have a chat after. Maybe I'll get a 5-second penalty for my quotes. I don't know. It's just how I feel, Armand. So maybe I'll be up in the stewards booth explaining my conversation and my actions after that. As we just see Spain now and nearly lose his front end there as well. But here's another man who will be surely moving himself from any form of conversations that really doesn't need to happen here as well. And because otherwise you're going to be a little bit going all a little bit wrong. Pick a side, sir. Pick a side. Lift and coast. There we go. There we go. Straight through.
If I'm Malcolm, I was hoping he was going to hold a little bit more there, but ooh.
No.
Spain getting a little bit of a lockup coming into turn 1 and almost collected Malcolm.
Yeah, no, my boy Spaino don't do that. Yellow, white, blue flag, jumps out the way. Doesn't need to get involved. Well done to you. So yeah, I'll come to see you after. I'll explain my actions, and you can hit me with a fine as much as you want to. Before we carry on, thank you very much. Take care. Time to go. Oh, dearie me. Could be a trip to the stewards booth. Never mind. Right, onwards and upwards. Well, I'd like to point out as well, we are both incorrect in the fact that we both picked winners, and none of us are right at the moment, because none of us picked Malcolm. However, we probably should have done. He was up 2 places currently, sitting in first place here, Kenton, with Dan Michael tucked up right behind him as well. Josh is having another go. He's having another go here as well. It's got Seth Pegg. This is a battle for position, so go for it. Have a good old scrap. You are the closest battle on track at this moment in time. So there we go.
Like it.
Yeah, that was a start, wasn't it? It was good.
I'm trying to say, which lager, which beer is on Con's car? Con? That's the pronunciation.
Good. I don't know. Which lager is on the front?
I'm trying to figure it out because I'm very curious as to which beer he's got there.
All right, read it. No, didn't read it that time.
I can't read it very well. It's a little off. I can't quite get a grasp of it because the hood is. I just see lager, and then it's too fast. These cars are too quick. That's the problem.
Yeah, I don't see on the bottom left corner in the picture either. It's not really making no difference to my eyeballs. I've got to be honest. I know this is for a reason, and they certainly ain't because I can see. So yeah.
And we have a double overshoot. Kern and Pegg both up together there. Unfortunately for them, Collicott is a Yunlang. Lager, eh?
Yeah, Y-U-E-N. Yeah, Y-U-E-N-G-L-I-N-G. I don't know. But both of them have got to slow down between Pegg and Kern here as they're going around the final corner. And they're still going to be side by side coming around the final corner now. Pegg's on the left, Kern's on the right, car 83 and 59. How is this one going to work out as they go rushing down the start-finish straight side by side at the moment? It is currently Kern out in front, going down into turn 1. And he does make it stick there as well. Yeah, Yunling.
Yeah, Yunling. Yeah, it's an American beer. Didn't expect that. It's America's oldest brewery. I'm always on the lookout for good beers. As a Canadian, you just pretty much have to know how to drink beer.
That'd be the one. Just to let you know as well. Drop shots in. It's pronounced Yingling. Really? Y-U-E-N. Google, translate it. And Armand hasn't told me off. He's not asked for me to go to the stewards box after this. He said, I mean, you're right. Normally, he should move. But Zach said, keep racing. Let's have fun. So there we go. Thank you very much. No trip to the stewards booth for me this week. However, we do have 2 rounds left before the end of the season. So I could be in there at one point. 7 to go.
I'm going to guarantee at some point in the next couple of races, but both are ovals, so we have less of a chance.
I like to put it on. My job here is to bring you the action of the racing here. If it gets a little bit controversial, that's just surely what makes it up, right? I can't be sitting here all perfect constantly. You know, you've got to bring some controversy to the actions here, and that's what we've got to do. They're both up together again. It's like poor
little deep, yeah.
It's like Pegg's got tunnel vision here. It's either that or that piece of rope that they've got's invisible, and they're both pulling themselves on track between Kern and Pegg there. So, you know, let's keep it going, boys. Keep it going. Closest battle on track at the moment. Malcolm's out front by about 1.3 seconds. The gap has not come down that much. Alex Witt in second, and Dan Michael in third. Strada fourth. Cody Kern fifth. Noel Hanna sixth. Here we go once more. Kern's gone in a little bit deep into the bus stop. Peck's going to try and run him around the outside of outer loop. It's that long looping right-hander. You can start getting on the gas about now. You can use a little bit of the exit curve as well. Saying that, they use absolutely a tonnage. So just forget that Anthony Radel is coming up behind him as well. What is Radel going to do here? Is he going to get involved with this, or is he going to be, please requesting to remove yourself from my object? As Seth Pegg does take a very, very wide line of doing that. Not entirely sure that we're going to go that wide, unfortunately, but he had his moments there with Josh in front of him as well. So there we go. Radel is through currently. Gap is still 1.4 out front. Michael Kenton. God blimey, I have to apologise. It's really kind of settling down with 5 to go at the moment.
Yeah, they've kind of fallen into their spots, just kind of doing their thing, keeping it straight. Like I said, with Malcolm, he's obviously got to keep an eye on what Witt is doing, but for the most part, just got to drive his race. At this point, make sure he hits that apex, make sure he stays out of the wall, keeps the throttle right. It's, you know, between these two, it's really going to come down to who blinks first and who makes that first mistake. And I mean, obviously, Witt made the mistake during the stage break, and that's what allowed Malcolm to get his gap. But now it's just all about Malcolm keeping his head down, keeping the car pointed forward, and taking advantage of that mistake that Witt made, and more or less air quotes make him pay for it in a sense.
Okay, so it says now both have been told to give Radel room when it's safe. Well, Armand, now is safe. Now is safe. He can lift and allow him through. Nah. Anyway.
I can feel the vein in your forehead and just pushing.
It's not going well up here at the moment, I can tell you that much. Oh, the veins are popping, and Noel Hanna's coming up a second behind Cody Kern. 4 to go here at Watkins Glen. Welcome in. We are off to Las Vegas next week as well, and then we finish out the season in 2 weeks' time at Homestead. I don't really know what to say, to be honest. What can we say? Is Radel through? He's still not through.
He goes.
Well done. As Radel goes through there as well. The front two gets now down to about a second. And the leaders are coming in. Oh! Witt got a big old slide on there. If they don't jump out of the way from Witt and Malcolm, I can guarantee this conversation this conversation ain't going to be interesting. However, they are all in voice chat together. So Keith, Kern, Malcolm, Michael, Witt, Brusso, Pegg's in there as well, so they all should know who's coming through. Jordan Malcolm has got Zach Lewis currently in front of him as well, so hopefully these should all be relative movements here, and Lewis should allow Malcolm through. Pegg's just coming back on track after taking a little bit of a diversion. However, that might not work out too bad. Oh yes, it will. Alex Whitworth, I thought we could have used Pegg for draft going up here and then try and get past him at the end of the straight, but clearly not this time around. So let's see here with Zach Lewis. What are you going to do here? As these guys are going through now, gap's down at 1.5. It's got to be, yeah. Take the inside line. Well done. Good job.
Unfortunately, that timing for Witt was a little unfortunate, having to deal with Lewis on that corner as Witt goes very wide coming out of the outer there.
Yeah, he's running that wide line as well. I love the fact that Armand's in chat, and he's in both chats, right? He's in the chat room and he's in YouTube chat. He hit the wall and lost speed, so Josh stayed in front. He's like,
it's like our own, race director being able to contact him. We're not a team, so it's kind of nice. We get an up-to-date what's happening in the race. It's real handy.
Yeah, definitely on that one as well. And unfortunately, he's also there going, James, you're not right. Stop it.
I was gonna say it's like our own Michael Massey, but with less controversy.
Yeah, he's not there going, no, James, that's not right, James. As we're coming on to the final 2 laps now, Jordan Malcolm has got Radel and Kern in front of him. Oh boy, I can guarantee this ain't. Oh, he's done it again! Oh, Joshua Kern, trying to get yourself out of the way, son. And unfortunately now, on lap 46, you're in the wall. The gap, however, has come down to a second. Now below a second, and we're going to be on 1 to go. You will see the lights change around the timing tower. It will go on to white here this evening as well. So Jordan Malcolm, what is he going to be able to do? He's got to stay in front, right? He's got to. It's literally the final lap of the race. There we go. White flag everywhere. He can't lose this, can he?
If he keeps it clean, I mean, right now his next closest issue is Auckland ahead. Otherwise, he's got clean air and pretty solid gap before he hits it, runs into McLaughlin here. So as long as, again, if he keeps his head down and just focuses on making sure he hits the apexes and everything like that. Sorry, Brusso, I didn't mean Massey in that way. He should be perfectly fine there. So.
Kenton Sportak, please come to the stewards room after the race.
Okay, I mean, I did say someone was going. I didn't specify who was the one going.
Here we go. We're coming down the final 2 corners. Is this going to be Malcolm automatically qualifying for the playoffs? That leaves 3 spots open left out the point system. Here we go now. It's going to be Jordan Malcolm if he can keep this clean. He's pulled it. He did it. Barney's waving. Jordan Malcolm goes across the line, takes the victory here in Watkins Glen with Alex Witt in second place. Dan Michael is going to come across the line in third there. And it is Malcolm gets the automatic qualification spot. So there we go.
It was a fantastic drive out of him. Like I said, a little underrated. We didn't talk about it much. He kind of just, took advantage of what opportunity was given to him and then took off and never really looked back. And I mean, he had a fantastic drive, kept it clean, had no issues, and didn't make a mistake, and that allowed him to pull out the win here.
There was Terry Spainow comes across the line. Calvin Ross does as well. Devin Collicott, and then we've got 14th place of Josh Keane. He's coming through as well. You've insulted Armand Brusso. Brandon McLaughlin.
Start walking to the stewards room.
Yeah, off you go. Get your fine. Deal with that after. But here we go. Over the line there as well. And the results will be on the bottom of your screen. You can see Jordan Malcolm is your victory with Witt, Michael, Strada, Kern, Hannah and McLaughlin. And then beyond that, Radel, Lewis, Spadow, Ross, Collicott and Keith there as well. So a great evening of racing so far. And should we do it in third to first order? Let's catch up with Dan Michael here as well. Dan, welcome in. Third place, young man. Are you happy?
No. I was hoping to win, but I'll take it third place.
All right. Okay, come on. Dan, we've got this, right? We called it last week. Both me and Kenton have got you in our final 4. Come on, positive thinking, Dan. You can do it.
Yeah, I definitely tried to get as many points today as I could. So you saw that strategy before the stage end. I took a minimal amount of fuel just to make it to the caution, but I just wasn't close enough. I made a mistake before and got myself a slowdown penalty behind Jordan, and it made me not come out ahead of Alex instead of where I should have.
All right, okay. Malcolm's in the final. Right, we know that already.
Yep.
Still got 3 up for grabs here. Are we hopeful?
I am. I'm pretty good at Vegas as long as they haven't changed it from before. Last time I ran there, I was pretty good. I'm just a little worried because I know I gained a lot of points on the guys ahead of me today, but I still gotta climb because I got at least a 20-point deficit. So hopefully I can rack up some points with qualification, like qualifying, doing leading laps, getting as many points in the stage as I can, and then hopefully winning. But as long as I get a good finish and I accumulate as many points as I can, I should be able to point myself in.
Okay, well, good luck, Dan. That's all we can ask for. Maximum effort, maximum speed. Hopefully see you in the main playoffs at Homestead, of course, in 2 weeks' time. Anyone you want to give a shout out to, Dan, before we let you go?
Just everyone here. It was a great show, a great showing. All the people who showed up today, and first time back, everyone was bearing with me with my chaotic driving. So I was hoping it was fun, and it was. Broadcast was hilarious. I was laughing a little bit in the car listening to you guys.
Yeah,
It was nice. It was nice.
Kenton's on his way to the steward's booth. He called Brusso Michael Massey, so he's off to get his fine.
Yeah,
there you go.
There'll be some penalties on that one.
Yeah, definitely. Dan, thank you so much, buddy, for joining us, and we'll hopefully catch you next week.
Yes, sir.
Take care.
Thank you.
Right, let's bring in Alex Witt here, leading at the stage break, of course, finishes second to what can only be perceived as a Jordan Malcolm extraordinaire pit stop there as well. Alex, welcome in, sir. I would ask you how you are, but I've got a funny feeling you might not be too happy about that.
Yeah, definitely not. Definitely not taking tires there at the stage would have been the choice. If I had known that Jordy was going to have that much pace in the second stage, I definitely wouldn't have. That was definitely surprising. Couldn't really crawl all that time back in after the restart.
All right. So we know Malcolm's through. We've got 3 places left for grabs up for points. It's going to be a difficult one, right? Because there's still some quick people left here. What are you going to be trying to achieve here? Because obviously you don't want to go into Vegas and think, I need points. And next thing you know, you're in a wall. It's got to be a little bit of give and take, sensible driving, isn't it?
Yeah, definitely. If I have to give up, any sort of aggression in the first stage just to be there at the end, I definitely will.
Yeah, I kind of would as well. I'd look at consistency rather than, obviously, if you find yourself in a position of could win, Alex, I'd obviously, not going to turn around and say don't go for it. But at the same time, surely the importance of points at this stage of the season, 2 weeks away, has surely got to overdo any form of erratic, chaotic driving, hasn't it?
Yeah, it definitely would. I mean, if the race shakes out well, I don't think it'll matter. But if it comes down to, a late yellow and you got a bunch of crazy driving, that would definitely influence, how small of a gap I'd try to drive into.
Yeah, I think I'd be erring on the side of caution going into the last race before the top 4, Alex, to be honest with you. But look, mate, absolutely stunning drive, as always here again, finishing in second place. Anyone you want to give a shout out to before we let you go?
Yeah, shout out to the Breakfast Club, as always.
As always, bud. Well, you take care, young sir, and I'll catch up with you hopefully next week.
Thank you.
All right, let's bring Jordan Malcolm into the booth. Of course, the man that took the victory, didn't take tyres at the pit stop, come out, went on, took the race win. Jordan, welcome in. How are you?
I'm doing very well now. Doing very, very well.
Well, I'd like to point out, right, as well, I'm currently winning 1-0 over Kenton because I had you in my final 4, you see. Kenton didn't. And now you're into the final 4. So, thank you very much for that. There's really no money or anything going to exchange hands here. It was just a bit of fun. But going forward.
No problem.
Yeah, you've done me a favour. Thank you so much for that. I got 1 out of the 3. Let's see if 1 out of the 4. Let's see if I can get the rest in as well. Going into Vegas, so you're already through. What's the thought process in this? You're going to take a week off, put your feet up?
No, you can't go into Homestead with a week off. You need to show up. I'll just treat it just like a regular season race now. Just try and minimize the aggression and be there at the end. I know a lot of people will be fighting for those stage points, and it's going to be hella aggressive. So thankfully, we don't need to worry about that. We can just run our race, and it will be hopefully be there at the end.
Yeah, I think that's surely got to be the point now, isn't it? Just try and sort of, well, it's a tough one for you, really, because you're kind of stuck between a rock and a hard place here, because obviously, we know you're everybody's friends in the league as well. Would you want to get yourself in a battle if you, knowing that you've already qualified? Would you want to do that?
Potentially, yeah. Potentially. Well, Cody, he wasn't a playoff driver last week, and there was 2 playoff drivers right behind him. So, he just got the job done on the day. So we'll try and do the same. But if it comes down to it and they're racing super hard, then I'll probably just give the spot up, to be honest. But yeah, in terms of next week, you can sort of relax, not worry about it too much, and then just put all the focus in for Miami now for 2 weeks, Homestead, Miami.
Yeah, absolutely. I fully agree with you there as well. So, well, look, congratulations on your win. Congratulations on qualifying for the Final Four. And is there anyone you want to give a shout out to before we let you go?
Yeah, the league, everyone in chat, obviously you guys broadcasting, the Killer Brownie Company, W Energy, Player One, Coffee Lab, and Jazz for Gaming.
Awesome stuff. Well, Jordan, thank you so much for joining us, bud. And we look forward to catching up with you soon.
Thank you.
Take care. Well, there you go, Kenton. I think everybody was, they sounded positive. Alex Witt, he's erring on the side of the caution going into Vegas. And I think that's probably the best way of doing it, isn't it? Wouldn't you say, going into Vegas itself?
For him, I think so. And it's a little easier, I believe, as well. I believe he's currently in 4th. He was in 4th coming into this. 2nd place finish. He finished ahead of McLaughlin. He finished ahead of Hannah, who were the other 2 that were ahead of him. Obviously, Malcolm was 2nd coming into this race in terms of the top 8. So I think that he's got a little, I don't want to say an easier time, but he does have an opportunity to not have to put as much strain on him. Like Daniel Michael obviously had a great race, finishing in 3rd, but he also has to now deal with the fact that he missed that first race, so he has to force a good race in Vegas, whereas Witt can not necessarily take it off, but he doesn't have to put a ton of stress on winning or finishing 2nd. A P3 is still most likely going to get him through, sort of thing. So he has a little bit more of that wiggle room, a little more of that leeway. Whereas, McQuiggan and Daniel Michael and Elmquist, they're going to be a little more in tough because they, having missed today or that other race. So it's definitely going to be an interesting battle for the next 2 spots, I'd say. Obviously, 2nd will be most likely, I'd say, with Witt, just in terms of how he finished today and how he finished last race. But obviously, really outside of that top 1 are still very much up for grabs. So it'll be a very exciting Las Vegas.
It definitely will be as well. Malcolm is in first, of course. The results on the bottom of your screen: Witt, Michael, Strada, Kern, Hannah, McLaughlin, Radel, Lewis. Spainhour down in 10th, Ross in 11th, Collicott 12th, Peg 13th, Keith 14th, Kern 15th, Sherman 16th, and of course we know Brusso did not take the start there as well. Peggles in chat, P13, let's go. That's what we call a hard-fought race. Jordan, what a winner. Love that guy. So there we go. And Seth Pegg down in P13 there as well. So well done, Seth, by the way, as well on your driving. Absolutely incredible. At one point, you and Joshua Kern did look like you had pieces of string attached to each other as you're both running wide and going off at the same point there as well. But overall, Kenton, I think we can look forward to Vegas and with a big smile on our face.
Yeah, I think it's going to be an exciting one. And like I said, it's going to be a very, very fun time for all of us because it's a race still with a lot of importance. Obviously, with the final race, the top 4 making it through and only one person so far having guaranteed their spot. It's going to be a very exciting time to watch the rest of this race go.
And I'd like to point out I am currently winning 1-0. Hey, I've got 1.
We'll revisit after next week.
We can't. Also, I'm still going to be 1 ahead. Because you haven't got Jordan Malcolm in your 4.
True, but if Witt Witt and Michael both make it, that's still 1 for each of us. But then McQuiggan gets the 4th spot. That's you. You don't have McQuiggan.
No, I got Hannah.
Exactly. So if Hannah doesn't make it, but McQuiggan does, then we're tied.
McQuiggan's not here though.
today. That's why I said we'll revisit this next week.
Oh, okay. Well, listen. Armand in YouTube chat. Great broadcast tonight, even though I feel bullied. Though I was insulted and bullied. Kenton, I think you better issue a written apology.
I think I'm starting from the pit lane next week.
10-second start penalty for Kenton Sportak there next week as well. Guys, thank you so much for joining us. It's been an absolutely incredible evening here as well. We're going on to Vegas next week, so tune in for that one at the same time, 12:45, 8:45, is it, Kenton? I think it is Eastern, if I'm not mistaken. Of course, if I am mistaken, I do apologise. Time zones are a killer here in the UK. But listen, guys, that is it. That's going to wrap up tonight's racing. Thank you so much to everybody that's joined us as well. The whole of the Spain Hour crew, as always. There we go. I don't know what happened to Lydia, Mum. Let me know here as well. But saying thank you so much. But for myself and Kenton Sportak, guys, take care. Have a great week. And you never know, we might see you on a track sometime. Good night.